that or no? Is it better? Okay. So this is just the definition of the Sobol index we saw together, okay? But you know that you have a formula that tells you that the variance of y is equal to the variance of the conditional expectation plus the expected value of the conditional variance, okay? So I can replace this by that, okay? So what you see when you are computing Sobol indices, you are in some sense comparing, okay, the variance, okay, with the conditional variance, okay? So what you do is that you are comparing the law of your variable, okay, and the conditional distribution, okay? I'm combining the variance with, okay, and you want to see if the difference is big or not. That will tell you if your variable is sensitive or not, okay? So now what is happening is the following. So the classical definition of the mean of the random variable is the integral of x with respect to the law of your random variable, okay? So that's the classical way of defining the expected value, but maybe there is another way that is more interesting. Because if you take a look at the function that at point theta gives you the expected value of x minus theta square, okay? So this is a function that depends on theta, okay? So it's easy to see, so you can do x square minus 2 theta e of x plus theta square, okay? So this is a nice quadratic function in theta, okay? Okay? So for what point is it minimal, this one? Okay, the expected value is the point that minimizes this functional. And what is the value here I have? The value I have at the minimum is exactly the variance of x, okay? So, and in the same way, the point, if you take a look at the expectation of, so if you take a look at the expectation of y of theta, if you take a look at this function, the point that will minimize is exactly the expected condition, the conditional expectation, okay? So, what you do here is that you are comparing the minimal value of this function with the minimal value of the conditional function, okay? When you are computing Sobol indices, okay? So what you can do now is to say, okay, I have this function, but now I can replace y minus theta square by another function, okay? So maybe I will just give some examples. It will be more. Okay, okay. So what happens is that if you take the mean is the point that minimizes this function. Okay. If your quantity of interest is the median, what you should take as a function is not the thing to square. It's just, for example, is the absolute value of the difference. The minimum of the absolute value of the difference that gives you the mean, okay? But if you are, for example, interesting, as I said before, it's already, maybe I should put it larger again. Okay? If, for example, you are interested in the fact that your output is larger than t, okay? What you should take as a function is that this one, but is the indicator that y is larger than t minus theta squared. Or if you are interested in a quantile, you can take this function, and so on. Okay? And then you define your indices. Okay. So we saw that the numerator in the Sobol index was just the minimum of the function at some point minus the minimum of the conditional function. So you just replace y minus theta squared by your function that you are interested in, psi, okay? And then you divide it by the denominator, and at the end, what you get is a new index, and that will dictate the importance of the variable with respect to the quantity of interest you want to study. Okay? So maybe I can just give you an example. Oops. What is happening here? You remember I present this example in the first part of the lecture. So I have x1 plus x2 with two exponential distributed with parameter 1. Okay, I take, it should be a minus here, sorry. Oh yes, minus x1, okay, that's okay. Okay. So, for example, if you want to, if you are interested in that, what happens for large value of theta, okay, for the alpha quantile, okay, you take just this function at psi, so you can define your indices, okay. In that case, it is possible to do, so here you have the details of the computations. You can do the exact computations, okay. So I skip the details, and I think I have a plot somewhere. Okay, here is the plot. So the interesting thing here is you see that what I told you is that if you compute the Sobol indices for this example, they are equals to 1/2. Okay? But what you see is that the new index that are based on the new function psi, they change with respect. So here, when you go like this, you change the value of the quantile you are interested in. Okay? So you see that if you are interested in a large value of alpha, okay, which one is more important is S1, and it's exactly the intuition we had, is that the first variable x1 was more important than the second variable x2. Okay? But this is a methodology that allows us to build some nice sensitivity indices. Okay? So what are the problems with these indices? Okay, they are very nice, but we have a huge problem is that we don't know how to estimate them in a good way, okay? So the problem is that the pick and freeze method doesn't work anymore when you change your function. For a general function psi, if it's not quadratic, for example, for the quantile, so for the quantile, the function is obviously not quadratic. Okay, what What happens? Yeah. I don't know what is happening here.